Hey Marley, how you doing?
Good. How about you?
Good. I just wanted to check in with you. Have you heard about the new 2-1 buy downs that everybody's talking about across the industry?
I have heard a little bit about it, but it's like now the talk of the town, and definitely our agents are asking about it a lot.
Have you done one before?
I have never done one before.
So one of the reasons why it's so effective, what I guess the reason why we're recording this is I want other people to kind of hear a conversation between a loan officer and a realtor so they can get a feel for exactly how to have those conversations. Is listen, no one ever wants to lower the price on one of their listings, right? But we're entering an environment where that might become a reality. We're seeing more price adjustments. I think I saw you talking about some of the statistics on that recently on social media
Yeah.
that people are having to lower prices. And so if you're a seller and you go from 500 to 490 or you offer a $10,000 seller's credit, there's no
Yeah.
difference to the net money coming to the seller, correct?
Correct.
So when you think about what is the most effective way, if a seller has to give up $10,000 to sell their house, what's the most effective way for them to do that where they'll attract the most attention from buyers or be able to get the best potential offer from a buyer? And so what the 2-1 buy down does essentially says, okay, we'll take that $10,000 and apply it to the interest payments that this person would have made over the first 2 years of the loan. More so in year one, and then about half of that in year two, so that they drop their payments a bunch. Because let's say someone does buy a house for 500,000. If they put 20% down, it's 100,000. They're borrowing 400 grand.
Right.
The difference between borrowing 400 or 392, right, which is what you'd have to borrow if you were getting the price at 490,
Yeah.
is like $50 a month. It's very
Right.
inconsequential. But the difference on the monthly payment in the 2-1 buy down is over $400 in year one and over $200 a month in year two, with the
Mhm.
idea being that someone would be able to refinance this loan at some point over the next 2 years when rates go down. As most economists do think that rates will come down at some point over the next 2 years.
Okay.
Is that something that, so I guess when you have to go to your sellers and have these conversations like, hey, do you want to lower the price? Do you want to do a seller's credit? When and how do those conversations usually take place?
So what you're asking me is when I have the conversation with the buyer or when I have the conversation with the seller?
So you're representing the seller in this case. Somebody else is, you're not getting the action that you're looking for, right?
Hmm.
So you say,
Yeah.
okay, cool. We can offer a $10,000 seller's credit, or we can lower our price by $10,000. But I think it's time that we take action. We've had the house up for 3 weeks. We have had no offers,
Hmm.
etc.
Yeah.
How are you having that conversation? What's making you decide to have that conversation?
Yeah, so we are definitely seeing homes sit on the market a lot longer. Our average days on market went from 3 days to 27 days in 2 months. So sellers are definitely freaking out. Agents are also freaking out. And the conversation that I would say to them is, listen, let's pretend that we've already done price drops. Listen, we've done 2 price drops and we have not seen any other actions. There is this new loan program out there that I think that will bring a ton of buyers interest. I'm like, we could drop the price $10,000 more, but it's really honestly, it's not going to do anything. So at $510,000 versus $500,000, that it's the same exact buyer that is looking. So interest rates, since we've been listed, interest rates have risen about a point or 1.5%, right? And that is creating more of a monthly payment problem than a like any other problem, right? So
Yeah,
how
it's not
about
that people don't want to buy. It's not that people don't want to buy the house for 490 anymore. It's that they don't want to buy the house because they can't afford that monthly payment,
they can't
right?
afford it? Yeah. So I would say let's say that we've already had like 20 showings in the last 30 days, right? What I recommend us doing is offering a $10,000 credit and offering a 2-1 buy down. And the 2-1 buy down, and I'd explain to them what that it is. And as an agent, what I would do is one, put it into the agent notes. I did reach out to our MLS, and you're not allowed to, in Charleston, you're not allowed to offer this in the public remarks, but you can in the private remarks. But
So
I would,
you can. So two questions about that. One, I just saw. So two. Explain to me the difference between who can see public and who can see private, and
mhm.
then in the public remarks, you can offer the credit. You just can't say what it's for, right? Or we're not sure yet on that.
I don't think that you can offer any type of credit. And the reason I don't think that you are.
Okay.
And I will get a clarification. I did see, so I messaged MLS and said, are we allowed, like, is there anything they said? Let me just double check. I believe in our MLS, we're not allowed to say anything about any type of credit. We would be able to say like carpet credit or something like that, but we wouldn't be able to say like, hey, we're going to give you closing cost credit. But in the
You
so
could say
the
like a
public,
$10,000 seller's credit, period. We'll find
I
out.
wouldn't
All right,
risk,
cool.
I wouldn't risk it, but we'll find out.
Okay.
But you can
So
so
the private notes. Tell me
private
about
remarks.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The private remarks are what agents can see. There is no agent out there that does not know what private remarks are. Before I even book the showing, you need to go look at the private remarks because that will tell you how you're supposed to even be booking a showing, like writing an offer. Like all of the private stuff goes into there. So the agents can see it, but what it doesn't do is it's not on Zillow, Realtor.com, and stuff like that. So the public cannot see it. But you can offer it, at your open houses. You can have a sign saying that sellers are willing to do a $10,000 credit, which I think is a great idea. You can door knock, write letters. But the most important thing is you can call agents that are looking in those areas, which on MLS and showing times, you can kind of see what houses are getting shown. And you can go back to any agent that has ever had a buyer that was interested and say, hey, listen, would your clients be interested if we presented $10,000 for this 2-1 buy down? Let me explain to you what it is. Like, what's the reasons why your buyers were not interested? Is it because of the monthly price? Because I know I've had buyers that have been, like, they want the house, they can't afford it anymore. So
Sure.
if we did this, is that something they'd be interested in? And so go present it. What you can also do as an agent, and so the lenders would be able to explain it, is you can do a mass email. So you can do a mass email saying like, hey, 123 Banana Street is now offering $10,000 for closing cost for a 2-1 buy down. Please let me know if you have any questions. You can do a mass showing times alert.
So let me ask you a question. How often do you get mass emails from other realtors specifically marketing your property to other realtors here in Charleston?
We do it all the time.
Interesting. Do you read those emails?
I open up some of the emails. You definitely read the subject line.
Okay.
You could say like $10,000 credit towards 2-1 buy down.
Interesting. And where do you get is that like a list that like you get added to at some point, or someone kind of gets you into the people just copy and add it, or is there like a place you can go to do that mass emailing where it already has everybody's emails already in there?
There's 2 places you can do it. You can do it inside of your MLS. So you would go to like my listings and like send out alert, and then same with showing times. You can say showing times, email like all agents. I believe you can also text them, but I haven't done that. But I think you can. But you have to get creative. One, you can put it on your Instagram. I mean, just because it has to be in the public remarks does not mean that one, you could get buyers by like the agent can get buyers by presenting it on social media or putting it in their newsletter or just talking to people about it. But I think the most important thing is if you have a listing that's not selling is getting that information out no matter how you can do it. So as much as you can, just as many conversations as you can have saying, hey, I don't want to lose this listing. I already put time and money into it. Like, what buyers do you have? And honestly, if someone says that to me, it's so funny. It's like, hey, I have this listing that's like oceanfront over. Do you have any buyers? I start like thinking, like, have I talked to anybody?
Yeah.
And every agent has a client that dropped out of the market because of the interest rates, for sure.
I love that. Well, I won't take up any more of your time. I really appreciate this. I think this was super successful for a first go at it. We'll get you a camera that does fuzzies. But
Thanks.
no, thank you. I appreciate the insight. There's definitely some things there that I didn't know about how it works on the real estate side, and hopefully our other loan officers we showed this to will be able to use that to their advantage and help get those private notes going so that we can keep moving some houses in this market.
Yeah, definitely. We got to be creative, and I think that we're all pretty good at that.